Alright. Another cast game for here today. We don't do too many cast games, but I saw this one and I was blown away. It's no secret that I don't cast a whole bunch of pro player games because I don't find them particularly interesting. A lot of things that pro players do are unachievable for me under my current lack of micro and macro. But sometimes you see a game and you can't help but be in awe of the strategy choices that they have made. And this game might be my very favorite game of Red Bull Wololo thus far. So in the blue, we have a Viper playing as the Sicilians, and I'm actually going to slow it down here ever so slightly, just so that we have a chance to talk about Leary. Now, Empire Wars is normally a very, very aggressive game mode, where you start with a whole bunch of Villageares. Now notice that Leary is constructing villagers, whereas Viper is not. Viper immediately going for the forward shore and a donjon, as well as a market just to abuse. And what is going to happen next is going to blow you away. Once again, another villager from Larry, none for Viper. He's definitely done this build several different times because he's going to be up in no times. 450 food thus far. Given just a couple of small walls there with the gold Villageares, so that he can stop any incoming scouts from doing a whole bunch of damage to him easily. Now there are 2 scouts in here as well as a spearman, but overall that's not going to be too bad. And there you go, that's 800 and immediately clicks up. Now what he's going to do is use all of his food into sergeants. Sergeants are what, like 60 food, 20 gold or something in that nature. Really cheap in comparison to a knight. And sergeants are crazy because when a sergeant gets to castle age, it immediately increases its HP as well as its pierce defense and yada yada yada. So let's take a look at the sergeants right now. Nope, he's running a little bit back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Doesn't want to show them quite yet. We're about 1 minute away from castle age. That means a 440 castle age time. That is in flipping sane. Now players are obviously going to want to use the shorefish to get the most out of them. So right now the sergeant has 50 HP and a total of 3 pierce armor after the first armor upgrade. A scout actually can go toe to toe with 45 HP and 5 attack. So it's a pretty even fight right now. You don't want to be engaging. He's keeping them all together. But now that they go up to the next age in about 20 seconds, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm just so excited about this strategy. That's right, it's the twerky turkey, or the phosphor rush, or the you putty rush, or whatever you want to call it. Now he's up all of a sudden 75 HP, and we went from a total of 3 pierce armor to 4 pierce armor, which means that an archer without fletching is doing 1 damage to them. Dropping down that dungeon, he's going to be abusing the market as much as he can, increasing the speed on these bad boys as well. Could get another armor upgrade to make it even more insane. I don't think you need to. Could also opt for the attack upgrade, but there's just so many upgrades available to them. How do you counter this? Well, there's 2 ways to go about countering this. Now, since Leary has already... Ooh, the quick walls there. Very clutch for him. That could have been way more disastrous. Now, keep in mind that Viper has only constructed a total of 2 villagers since the beginning of this game, taking some really good engages against those knights, now low HP. Too much going on in too short of a period of time to properly cast. Most players would counter this by means of knights, although I've seen Hera countered this strategy several times. And what he does is he opts for monks instead. Now, it is important to keep in mind that Larry does have a villager advantage here, and he wants to stop this dungeon from going up by all means. You cannot fight against sergeants once they are in Castle Age. Ooh, that's a costly sergeant. Nope. He just chills underneath the HTC like it's nothing. Each one of those arrows does absolutely all. It's amazing, isn't it? 7 knights is quite a lot, but there's also a whole bunch of sergeants in there. Oh my gosh, look at the HP going down, and there's still CC fire getting some damage in. Is this going to be advantageous to a snake? I don't know, but actually sergeants do really, really well against villagers. Can he push through? I think he has just about enough to get there, even though Lyria has the defender's advantage there. Simply put, too many sergeants over here. Now, one thing that Larry does have going for him is that he has a whole bunch of villagers on the right-hand side collecting shorefish. The snake desperately trying to get in on that gold. If he can stop the gold from being collected, it will stop the knights from being produced. Leary now going for a counterattack over here. He has 4 knights coming forward. If you cannot stop the damage from being done to you because they have too much military, it is worth going for your own aggression instead. Monastery now coming up from Viper to try and convert those knights that are coming his way. His sergeants running around trying to get into the back gold over here. A lot of these knights now very, very low HP because they're also underneath a dungeon with Villagares in there. The knights not having the +2 upgrade, only +1. Back to work. A lot more knights now in this vicinity. Needs to react to this. It's probably also trying to desperately get through. Ooh, very clutch palisade wall there. It's so intense. I love this kind of messy gameplay. And now also raiding on the right. Probably making some surges over here. I didn't even see that. That was amazing, wasn't it? 4 knights will be able to take this down potentially eventually, but it's going to take so flipping long, and the villager count is now in the snake's favor after raiding all of these villagers on the right hand side. Gets into the gold, no more resources to collect from Larry, and that's going to be a G flippin' G. What a crazy game that was. I also love how the Viper made that monk over here just for defensive purposes. I wonder when he sent over the sergeants to the right real quick. It's such a short game. Why not? Can we do this one more time? Can we just do that real quick? And I'll fast forward. But isn't that nuts? Isn't that a unique strat? Like, 0 villagers constructed initially. 0. It's just insane. Fastest possible Castle Age, pretty much. I mean, he probably could have skimped out on some wood, but then, you know, he doesn't get these walls up, yada, yada, yada. I think overall, this was such an insane strategy choice. It's absolutely amazing, in my opinion. The Upudi rush. I just wanted to see at what point did he come over to these Villagares over here. Why don't you just rewind? I used to have Capture Age Pro, but then Capture Age started being Capture Agey, and that was absolutely disastrous. We can actually check out his vision here. Does not know anything about that, but he must be assuming because yeah, after all of this, kill, cool, barely holds over here, absolutely amazing, crazy that actually holds that. I think also if Larry goes for monks, that might be significantly better because he only needs gold, and he could put monks in these little pockets over here. That's what I was saying with Hera, how he normally defends. He defends normally with monks, and potentially siege could be really, really useful if you can get a couple of scorps or something in that nature. Okay, so now he's looking over here. He sees the mill. Maybe he assumes that he's getting food for knights somewhere. So around the 10-minute mark, he absolutely clears up. Absolutely, absolutely. And that is a short AF Red Bull Wololo semi finals. Absolutely insane. What a wonderful, wonderful strategy. And now that all of this has occurred, Viper is adding additional villagers behind to continue into the later stages of this game. So nuts. So fripping nuts. Quick look at the statistics. Favorite game, for sure, of Wololo thus far. Memes, and dreams. Poop Lord. It's so funny. It's so funny. It's so funny. Amazing. Out. Keep on walking. Memes working at the highest level.